Hello everyone, welcome to another session of Rooted and Growing. Today we have Pastor Sheldon in Washington, D.C. as we are attending our wonderful Foursquare conference. And being surrounded by Washington, D.C. and all the various leaders, everybody has different plans, values, ways of doing things. We wanted to ask you today, as a leader, can there be unity within a diverse group, or do we settle for agreeing to disagree?
I never liked that phrase. Like whenever I hear people saying, I agree, let's just agree to disagree as a believer. I mean, even as a leader, when you say, I agree to disagree, there's still disunity. And I think in any family, organization, church, ministry, when you have the mentality to have diversity, but still able to move in the same direction, that's unity. We got to remember, unity is not uniformity, because you don't always have to all agree on the same thing, but in the end, we all, if you're on a team, you all need to be going in the same direction. So you, as the Bible says, die to self, and when you die to self, you're able to move in the direction that everyone should be going into. So you want the betterment of the team. I liken it to canoe paddling. Some of you canoe paddle. And you may disagree with certain things or certain ways of doing things, but once you start the race, you put those things on the side for the sake of the win, to finish strong. You don't say, but I believe we should be paddling this pace. No, the stroker makes the pace or sets the pace. They all each have an individual job and different in its character quality, but together makes for unity. Unification. That's what a university is. It's unity in diversity. That's what we have on our coins. E pluribus unum. Out of many, one. So you're going to have many different views, especially here in DC and here in America. That's just how we function as a nation. But closer to home, church, the work environment, or in school, your family, you're going to have differences. But what you're trying to do is reach a common goal. If you always agree to disagree, you go nowhere. So it all depends where you want to go, how successful you want to be, as well as maybe there are some things, some desires that shouldn't be there. Because we all need to fine tune ourselves. And I try to do that because I fall short a lot of times when it comes to the leadership, having the leadership side of trying to bring diversity into unity and heading in one direction. That's a tough thing to do. So it's a constant learning. And I don't think we ever arrive at that. So when it comes to the leadership side of it, just keep learning about it. Just keep learning about people, differences. How do we, with different thoughts and desires and even ideas, how do you bring it collectively together so that we can reach that common goal? And then in the end, no one really gets the credit because it was everyone together becoming successful as a team together. So it doesn't matter if it's sports or family, you're going to have diversity, you're going to have differences. It's okay. But what are we trying to achieve? And probably sports is a great analogy too, because
That's the best analogy sometimes.
Yeah, because when you're in that huddle or when you're on the sideline and you have different views. We should do this, coach. We should do this. This guy isn't doing this. That person is not doing their job. The leader has to come to the focus or the focal point of, but this is our goal. I understand what you're saying. However, what's the goal? Let's all do our job the very best for the end result of success.
I love that. That is, when you take your eyes off the goal, of course, you're not aiming for it anymore.
Right.
And just for anybody out there, just real quick,
Yeah.
What does it mean to die to self?
Okay, so yeah, because that's a term not everybody uses.
Right.
For me, dying to self is, let's just say I have an idea, you have an idea, and we're trying to reach a common goal.
Right.
I don't like your idea, but I need to put my emotion on the side to listen to what you're saying and what perspective you're coming from, because that might be a blind spot. So, but if I'm adamant and if I'm prideful and I say, well, this is just the way it is, and that's my blind side, next thing you know, I get hit and I pay the price. But if I listen carefully and put that into consideration, then what would happen is I would probably not be able to bring everything together. I would not be able to make things work out together for good. I would not be able to work things to where it's supposed to be, as well as miss the entire target. And I think for the person that is trying to learn it, the person that is trying to get to that goal or reach that successful point, I think for that person who is dying to themselves or is putting their emotions on the side, they're going to be able to save years of frustration because they were able to put their emotion on the side and make it work out.
I agree completely. Yeah. Thank you so much for clarifying that and for sharing another gem with us today. And thank you for joining us and growing with us today.